Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos. This is the paid request. This time for Zero Cool. Good guy on here, John. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, or random topics like this, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, so here we have another versus topic. Home Alone or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So I got Home Alone over there, and then this one over here. Which do I like more? Which do I think is better, and why? I will admit this was a bit of a tough one. Had to think about it for a bit. Because I think my favorite Christmas movies, I put like Scrooged up there. I like Ernest Saves Christmas, and I like Bad Santa is a lot of fun. Jingle All the Way is fun. Of course, Die Hard, I guess, if I could add that, would be my favorite Christmas movie. A lot of action movies that take place around Christmas. I think Long Distance Night, Lethal Weapon, technically I Come in Peace does, technically Invasion USA, some of that does. Cobra, some of that does. A lot of stuff takes place around Christmas, but I would say as a kid, I watched Home Alone more than this. And I enjoyed this when I was a kid, but I watched Home Alone a lot more. I remember having the VHS tape. I remember there were certain specific commercials on there, like for American Airlines. And I think as a kid, I would have said Home Alone because it was something I could more relate to. I could more relate to a kid wanting to be by himself and the exhilaration of that, and then when the reality sets in and you would miss them. So you have the freedom of a kid, the independence of a kid, not worrying about anybody else in the house, eating whatever you want, watching whatever you want. And again, kind of that escapism I think kids felt, and they viewed it through Macaulay Culkin, through Kevin McAllister's eyes. And like the character, you then settle in with, it's fun for a while, but you would start missing your family, and it has a nice, sweet holiday cheer to it. Has a good soundtrack. Love the music by the late, no, not, well, thankfully he's still with us, John Williams. I don't know why for a second I thought Jerry Goldsmith. That's why I said late great Jerry Goldsmith. No, it's John Williams did Home Alone. Good score. Definitely brings a Christmas breath of air to the proceedings. Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are a lot of fun, and I would say that's my favorite bit of the movie is the third act with all the traps. And that's the thing that many of us as a kid remember the most was the traps. It's slapstick, it's Three Stooges style, and I grew up with the Three Stooges. I love the Three Stooges, and this was a kind of a 90s version of Three Stooges slapstick where Joe Pesci did his hair, his head burned up, and Daniel Stern stepping on nails and stuff that people in the real world would die from. But again, this is a, cartoony type of reality. And Macaulay Culkin does a good job as the lead kid, and Home Alone is fun to watch. But I will say, rewatching both these again, I like Home Alone. I would say nowadays I would go with this, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now maybe that's because as I grow older, I kind of feel more for Chevy Chase's character, for Griswold, and I can more relate to him now. I thought that while Home Alone is a bit sweeter, I do think this one's a bit more consistently funny. I do get some laughs and fun of Home Alone. It's mainly the third act with all the shenanigans and the pitfalls, the pratfalls, all that stuff. That's the stuff that really made me laugh and chuckle. This throughout the film, I would say, made me laugh consistently more. Whether just certain lines of dialogue that Chevy Chase would throw out there because of John Hughes' script. And because well, he got away with Macaulay Culkin's character say a little bit of stuff here and there. That was here because Chevy Chase, he put in the words of an adult. He could push it a bit more. I still remember when he's at the job and he's being happy to his boss, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass, happy Hanukkah." Just how Chevy Chase at this time, despite him being a dickhead in real life, he knew how to sell this type of dialogue, whether it be in the first National Lampoon's Vacation, whether it be in Fletch, whether it be in this, even nothing but trouble later after this, which I do enjoy. I think it's a bit underrated. I think Chevy Chase knew how to handle that. When you look at Caddyshack, he knew how to play that part fairly well and let that dialogue flow. But yes, it feels as, even though it's written by John Hughes, it feels like it's coming out of his voice. And like I said, I consistently more laughed. I laughed at the beginning with they're on the road and Chevy Chase unwittingly tries to pass, but he gets caught under a vehicle. Some pretty decent stunt work too, to have a car try to be right under this semi and go consistently with each other. Pretty decent stunt. Or some of the worst he shares with his neighbors, and the neighbors, one of them being Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who would later be in Seinfeld, and they're being assholes going, "Oh yeah, that tree, we don't put a tree that big." And Chevy's like, "Bend over and I'll show you." "Ah, real sweet, Clark. I wasn't talking to you." He was talking to Julia. Or when he's talking with the lady who's very beautiful, I think it's like in the mall or something, and maybe get something for his wife, but she's very beautiful, and she says something like, "You're a display," but she says, "Can I taste something out for you?" And Chevy just, "Yes, you take this penis out of my boxers." But that's what he's thinking. That's what I mean. As I get older, I now am more, hopefully not too much like Clark, but I can more relate to him. I can more enjoy his style, sense of humor, more than, because I'm not a kid anymore. You have to have nostalgia how it was as a kid, but if I rewatch it nowadays, like I said, the Christmas Vacation just felt more consistently funny rewatching it. And 'tis the season to be merry. That's my name. No shit. And they both play off certain attributes that you can relate to. In Home Alone, the maybe wish fulfillment of wanting to be by yourself, or think it's all about Christmas presents stuff, and there's more to it than that. Here, about how you have all the relatives and family and some of the chaos that can happen. You have Aunt Bethany, you got the uncle, played by William Hickey, who has a very distinct voice. I know he's in the very beginning of that Charles Band film, The Puppet Master, the one that Charles Band produced. And what else was William Hickey in? I've seen him in a few other stuff as well. Even Randy Quaid, despite the fact he went absolutely apeshit insane in real life, he did a good job as cousin Eddie. And he played off well with Chevy Chase's character. I don't know, just certain lines, certain readings, where Randy Quaid's wife made this turkey and they're ready to cut it, and it opens and it just completely screwed up and she's crying. And then Randy Quaid, just without missing being going, "Why are you crying?" Just something about that made me laugh, just the obliviousness of Randy Quaid's character, just how he's not reading the room, he just doesn't get it. And there's some, goofy slapstick as well. I would say, if I'm comparing the two, I think John Williams did a better musical score in Home Alone. The score in this is fine, but It's fine. I don't remember who did it though. Angelo Badalamenti, but it's not as memorable as the score in Home Alone. I do like the song Christmas Vacation at the beginning and end of the movie. I do like that song. And that's an original song for the movie. So I'll give the song of originality to Christmas Vacation, but musical score I'll give to John Williams. Slapstick, I do think it was funnier in Home Alone. I will say that's one thing. The slapstick was fine. Chevy Chase going down the hill with the sled, and you just see when it's up close to Chevy, the background's not the best. I don't know what kind of effect that would be. At least before like the heavy green screen era, so I don't know if it's one of those projection things in the back. They just rotate. I don't know what it was specifically. The terminology. That's right. Would say and there's one bit with the squirrel going around the house. You know, it's cute, it's fine, but it's not as hilarious as the way Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci react to all these traps at the end of Home Alone. I would say Home Alone, I think, has the better musical score, is a sweeter movie, and has the better finale. Because you remember the finale is big and it's all the traps. Like that's what made the film such a huge hit at the time, is the build up to that, and that's the thing people remember the most. Here, it's enjoying the cast of characters a bit more, meaning Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are great, but those are villains to root against, but they're still fun to watch. I just mean, like, I don't mind John Hurd. I don't mind Catherine O'Hara in Home Alone. I would say I definitely enjoyed Beverly D'Angelo and the kids more in this, the family more in this, the way they interact with each other, the way Chevy Chase interacts with Cousin Eddie. Some may feel Home Alone feels a bit schmaltzy in its sweetness, while you don't really get that in here. And like I said, I do think this is the funnier movie, and they are both comedies. So what do I think is the funnier movie? I do think this is a bit wittier in its dialogue. Like the dialogue made me chuckle a bit more, especially the whole finale with his speech, which I don't know if I could do it justice, but I can't remember it all, so I had to write it down. But when Chevy Chase doesn't get his bonus, and he's like, I just want to look him straight in the eye. I want to tell him that cheap line, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licked, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, butt-eyed, stiff-legged, spy-lip, worm-ass, sacamonte shit he is. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol? I do bust a gut at that. And they're still both very fun movies. They're still both movies to watch at Christmas time, and there's no wrong answer. But I would say as the years go on, I would probably have a bit more tendency to watch Christmas Vacation. Again, because it's a bit more, as I get older, approachable is the wrong word, but it's more relatable. Like I said, I do think it's more of a funnier movie, and pretty tight pace. Hour and 30 some minutes, didn't feel too long at all, and very fun movie, Christmas Vacation. Really enjoy it. I mean, really, I like the first one. I don't care for European Vacation at all. I really like this one, and I don't mind Vegas Vacation. The reboot is the worst. That's a god-awful movie. And this does have a feature commentary. This is from an older release, but they put on the Blu-ray. Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo, Johnny Galecki, Miriam Flynn, the director, the producer, a trailer. I know someone on YouTube did this about how there's stuff in the script deleted because you can't see this, but if you have your copy of the Blu-ray and you would have looked at this picture, I know you can't see it here, it's blurry, but if you have your copy of the Blu-ray, take a close look at this picture here. Where are my fingers at? Take a look at it. Is the family looking down at a guy lying back with a bit of a Santa outfit and a sign, and that is a deleted scene. So I find it funny. It's a deleted scene on the back of here, and apparently that was a scene where, if you've seen the movie, they find the tree, and the son, Johnny Galecki, who would later he was in the Roseanne TV show. He got popular. He was in the Big Bang Theory show for quite a few years. He's like, Dad, did you bring the saw? Like, to cut it down? And then Chevy Chase has that look, and it jumps to them driving away, and the tree is revealed that they dug it up. Well, that's not how it originally was cut. It was cut to go to this scene, talking with this guy who's drunk, and they want to borrow a saw or borrow an axe, and it's like, get your own damn stuff. So it's been shot, but it was not, never seen the light of day. And sadly, no documentary on the film. I wish there was a documentary on the movie, or even the franchise. But I mean, Harold Ramis, who directed the first one, he's no longer with us. John Hughes is no longer with us, although he would rarely do interviews anyway. Chevy Chase just seems like a dickhead. Randy Quaid is off the reservation. I don't know where the hell he went to. He escaped some loony farm or whatever the hell he went to. So it's too bad. But yeah, between the two, I would give it to Christmas Vacation. Although, again, if action films like Die Hard doesn't count, I would probably say maybe Scrooged may be my favorite Christmas movie. With Bill Murray, maybe. But, these are definitely up there. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.